All right.
And here we are, game number 1, Licks against Viper, round of 32. And we have Nomad, and we have Byzantines for Viper, and Persians for Licks.
This is a fun series. Yeah, and Byzantines is a standout here, Dave. Just a bit of backstory. Recently, around the last couple weeks, players have been training and playing their WWC matches, but then they've also been playing a lot of team games, and Nomad team games have been included in that. And Licks has been a thorn in Viper's side, and they're super close to each other, so I'm excited.
Licks literally doesn't have to pay rent for living in Viper's head. Living there rent-free.
Yeah.
Every single Nomad game. It seems like Licks ends up beside Viper, and Viper finds himself in situations where he's basically dead. And Licks has walled completely around him. Now, they've both gone for a dock in the west here. Licks is going to get the fishing ship out right away because he is the Persians. And they start with a little bit of extra wood. He's also going to get his town center up a little bit faster than Viper. But Viper's found a pretty nice spot over there in that little corner of the wood line with the berries right beside it.
Yeah, I think the tough thing for both players is obviously scouting where the enemy's docked, but also where do you go for gold? Licks has a back option, which he has not scouted, and I think his cow is going to encounter the gold that's in between Viper and himself. So there's a chance that both players will actually go to that gold in the mid game, and then it's like, I guess the other thing to bring up is water's right next to each other. So this could be a really fast Nomad game potentially.
Both players know there's a pond in the middle, so they're going to have to scout that shoreline there. Licks is now tailing the cow at a discreet distance from Viper. And Viper's going to bring that cow to his TC because I don't think he can spot any... Oh, he spots a boar. Maybe he'll take the food from that cow early, which is kind of weird since you have the berries there and you see a boar, but kind of prioritizing fishing ship production at the moment. Licks has the second fishing ship on the way already, and Viper is just working on his first right now. That's the advantage the Persians get over the Byzantines.
Yep. After the first round, Spanish was banned out because Spanish was played the most. After the second round, Malians was banned out because Malians was played the most. And then this round, I think, and I haven't seen your sets, and there's other ones too, but I imagine after this round, it'll be Persians, yeah. It was the very first pick, I think, for Licks. So it was funny because it was possible for Viper to pick Persians game 1. He didn't. He picked Mongols instead. So he kind of gave up Persians. So Viper trying to theory craft on a strategy to counter the Persians, but we're seeing why now you pick them.
Why is this villager forward for Viper? Doesn't have enough wood to go for a dock or anything. He just went forward to find that cow.
The cow, yeah.
Just wanted to find the cow. He built a house. No further plans with that villager. And both players are just kind of wandering around here. Good scouting for Licks. You see, like, there's a purpose behind all of this scouting. Look, he's scouting all the shorelines of the pond in the middle, the south. He's going to look at the stuff over to the west. Unfortunately, he hasn't scouted that corner in the west where Viper is sitting right now. That seems like the only place he's missing as he goes all the way around with these cows. This is fantastic vision from the Chinese player.
It's also something that Viper's struggling with. Viper is caught in the dark right now. He's been eating his cows. Yeah. He's eating them instead of scouting with them. And I think when you have the berries underneath the TC, I know it's not the fastest source of food income, but it is not significantly slower than taking a cow. So I think Viper could have maybe scouted a bit more.
Yep. This is what we've seen throughout this tournament, especially with the more unknown players in the earlier rounds. The Nomad experience coming out, right? And a big part of that Nomad experience is exploration.
Yeah.
They prioritize it over everything else. Like, Licks will never take the cows early unless he absolutely needs to, because he's going to be wandering around, and he just found the dock from Viper. So he found the house up there, and he should be good.
What time are you at, by the way?
I'm at... How are we desync?
I know. I'm confused.
7:38 right now.
Okay, just pause somewhere and we can keep going. Maybe I did something, but
7:40.
Okay, make it 7:42 and we just 14 again. My bad.
Okay, I'm at 7:42. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know. It's just like a couple seconds, so I don't know if things are running slower. But Dave, that is just incredible from Licks.
Yeah.
He is scouted. I'm bad with math, but I want to say 80% of all the shorelines before 8 minutes with cows.
Yeah. And it's clearly he's just along the shore right now.
Yeah.
His cows are still working over there, maybe looking for a potential second sneak dock. He knows the dock is up there, even though he can't see the dock itself. He knows the houses are up there, and that explains everything. And he's already on the way to the feudal age. Lix is going to be in a fantastic position in this game. He's going to be up quicker. He has 1 second of idle TC time. He's already heading out to that gold. Oh, he didn't see the gold, Tristan, to the north of him. So he might have to YOLO battle against Viper for control of that one. And he knows where Viper's dock is, but he doesn't yet know where the TC is.
Viper didn't know about the gold until right now. He's bringing a villager back. He's been scouting with one, Dave. I personally think he's been scouting way too late.
Yeah.
But, you know, he has scouted at least. And his position has been awkward, too, because that wood line's covering up most of the space for him. And Viper now fighting villagers. And this is actually good for Viper, because that will mean villagers off of gold for Lix, and Lix needs gold for his strategy.
Yeah, but Viper needs gold, too. And Viper's gold is... his other gold is pretty far away to the right.
Oh, God,
now
no way! No
way!
Oh, he doesn't get it, Dave. He doesn't get it. Lix gets out of there. Woo, that was close.
Viper trying to house wall the villager in, and Viper will have control of that for the time being, but Lix will be in feudal age, and Lix has potential to put a tower on that as well. Maybe Viper thinks that mining camp is his? I don't know. He's not making one yet, Tristan. Maybe, like, out of the corner of his eye, he just sees a mining camp, and he's happy with it. He actually goes now to the deer. Very strange. But Lix is in feudal age, and Lix will immediately go for a galley to take out the fish from Viper. He's got 2 galleys queued.
I think the reason Lix is going for galleys is because it's cheaper to make 2 galleys than it is to make 2 fires, but I could be wrong. Because he had 70 gold, and I think fires cost 40 gold a pop. So
God, that not seeing that gold is such a big deal.
I know.
He scouted everything but the gold.
Viper found gold. Lix didn't really fight for it either. Maybe didn't have confidence against Viper's quick walling. And Lix can see that Viper has a barracks there.
Ships. At least 3 here. He should be anyway if he's paying attention. He takes out 1. And yeah, he sees the barracks from Viper, you said? Yeah, he does see the barracks from Viper.
This is good damage. And Viper's fish was kind of inefficient anyways. And now he'll have gold to maybe defend his own fish. So good start here for Lix. But, man, I just love this game so far because there's been so much adapting. Viper's had to adapt from a plan that he probably didn't want to go for. And then Lix has adapted with the galleys, and he's killed everything so far.
Every single thing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the last one survives.
If you get good gold income now, you can switch into fire galleys. Of course, the Byzantines are going to have the inherent advantage there.
Yeah.
But I also, like I said before, I love the fact that Lix has like gone for town watch too.
Yep.
Look at how much vision he has on there, and he's even gone. He's gone for the gold in the north, and now he finds the gold near his base, and he must be thinking to himself like, "What?"
It's so annoying. Yeah, it's so annoying because you don't want to make another mining camp, but nope, he does. He does. He takes it. But what's funny about that is Viper's going to see that gold and think he isn't on that gold, so he must have gold towards the south. And Viper's now scouting the south with Spearmen, which is really bad, but he's still scouting the south, maybe looking for that.
Yeah, Lix has a skirmisher coming there. Lix is going to have that repair villager, assuming he takes care of that Spearman. Fireship is not close enough to be repaired. Fireship is attacking the Spearman now, but the fires from Viper are attacking the villager, and Lix needs to get out of dodge, and now Lix's fish are under threat.
I feel like this is going to be the first 1v1 Nomad game we've seen where both players lose their fish.
Yeah.
It's very rare. Normally, one person snowballs a fish advantage, but Lix will have a few, and yes, he can fight back on water, but good job from Viper.
Lix is running with his. Viper just gave up on his fish.
Yeah, true.
So Lix has potential to loop back again and make those, use those units again. Viper's also kind of using the market and maybe thinking about going up to castle. I mean, he's banking food, but he only has 6 on food currently. He's going to need either a lot more on gold or a lot more on food to get up to the next stage.
This is a first game of the day game for both of them. This is, like, Lix is 400 stone with no plan to use it right now.
Yeah.
Both players have lost their fishing ships. Viper's got a lot on berries and had some idols. I mean, this is good walling from Viper, but...
You douche on the other side of that wood line from Viper's TC.
If he didn't have any more wood back there, it would make sense, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it, but granted, I was probably dead anyways, but I was going faster castle against Tato, and my wood line was forward, and Tato douched me and stayed in feudal and just took me off of wood.
Of course.
And then afterwards, he's so nice, you know, like, I felt flexed on anyways, but he was like, it wasn't a troll. I wasn't trying to be mean.
Yeah.
It was the actual strategy.
Yeah, and then he tosses like a T90 beast.
Yeah. He said that in my... Dude, he said that in the scheduling thread. I already knew I was dead when he goes T90 Beast. When do you want to play? Get out of here, Tato.
I love Tato, man. He's such a good guy. Holy. There's a tower on the woodline from Lix. So Lix is gonna delay his castle each time, and this is a very Lix play, and I don't like it, to be honest.
I don't either.
I really don't like it because you have the exploration. You know the woodline. Well, actually, he doesn't know the woodline extends.
Oh, there's going to be
that
wood.
area.
Even if Viper had to relocate
Yeah.
a lumber camp, he could, right?
Yeah. I think you just need to get up at a competitive time, and Viper's already going up to the castle age.
Yeah, the reason I don't like it is because he mined the stone. That could have been 300 food instead of 300 stone. I guess he started with 200, but to go to stone and then not make the towers was probably a reaction because he knew that Viper might come out for the gold. But this seems all very weak right now for Lix.
I do like the fact, Tristan, that he made a dock in the north and
Yeah.
is making extra fishing ships there. And the market that he's placing right now is just such nomad energy. Like halfway across the map with one villager making a market.
I like how he had to
Walling
wall
it
it in.
Just kill the spearman. Just kill it.
Yeah.
It's super low HP. Viper's going to spot this, though, and he'll know that Lix is being a sneaky boy.
Honestly,
Another tower from Lix.
I think Lix should full stonewall behind this.
Yep.
If he sees Vipers in Castle Age, full stonewall behind this, and do not allow Viper to come out with anything. But that might even be too late, as he's still not even close to clicking.
Is the play here from Viper like Siege Monk or something? If it is,
Yeah.
the towers are actually going to help against that quite a bit.
Oh, I think the towers will go down really fast, right? Because it's only 700 HP if they're in Feudal Age. My issue for Viper is lack of space. And he
Lix
doesn't
is
have the
going up.
stone, so there's the siege, and yeah, Lix is gonna sell everything. Oh, look at the quick walls from Lix on his gold. Viper goes over there, and Lix even swinging his army over there. That was really high-level stuff from both players.
Okay, Lix's market villager is still waiting for reinforcements, apparently, to take that spearman down. She's repairing. He hasn't checked the HP on the spearman, clearly. He's waiting for reinforcements.
I'm pretty sure a villager wins a 1v1 against a spearman anyway, so
Yeah.
that's a little weird. Maybe he thought that there was something else behind it, and Viper was
Knights out,
baiting him.
though.
Yeah.
Knights out from Viper. And he's going to be able to take down one villager, working on a second here. Lix is going for his own stable, and Lix pulls those vills away, but I think Viper will be able to take out 3 villagers here with a knight.
Ooh, jeez. And he could have saved 2 of these, Dave. It's a knight with no upgrades. He just reacted too late. And now he's palisade walling the north, which I like. But a good start to Castle Age for Viper.
I think a key difference here is going to be the fact that Lix is adding more fish. He
Yeah.
continues to add fish. And he is attacking the dock from Viper. Viper is housed, so he can't make that fire galley in time. He's going to lose that dock, and the knight is now looping around to the north side. And Viper also has a scorpion there, and Lix is docked the center.
Wow. Docking the center for a few fishing ships. Docking the north for a few fishing ships. Still has fishing ships along the side where he could add fish traps. And Viper will be dockless.
Look at
And
the eco difference.
yeah, this
Oh
is
my
huge.
goodness.
And he just needs
Massive.
food. He just needs food for a few camels. Gold is fine.
Lix is pre-walling his villager in.
While also taking out a scorpion.
Yep. Good
Not-
stuff.
With Lix, you never know if we're talking about the same villager. So I
Yeah,
assume you're
true.
talking about the villager on the right.
True. And
Uh,
honestly, you said that the towers will go down quick, and they will, but they're going to buy him enough time.
Yeah.
Imagine if the towers weren't there, the Mangonel's already attacking your TC.
Hyper surely got a sense at this point that his food eco's bad. I mean, this is horrible for him, and he is going to dock the center now, Dave. So I guess he's going to be competitive, but doesn't have the food eco to even upgrade his ships because he spent it on the knights. And second TC for Lix. Lix is looking really good as he goes for the third TC as well.
Yep, third TC on that gold, second TC on the wood line. Viper. I mean, he's kind of stuck in a corner right now, and he needs to address the stuff in the north. He knows that army is around there somewhere. He has a Mangonel. Could get a really juicy attack round here.
Boink.
That one's satisfying. Lick splits away and then splits back into it. So Viper gets another unit there. He needs to address this because he doesn't want pressure coming from both sides. But at the same time, he needs to pressure Lix's main base. So he's kind of divided his attention, and Lix might be able to take advantage of that.
I think the biggest issue I have with Lix's position is that Persian TCs work really fast in Castle. And if you commit to 3 TCs, you're going to want to produce out of all of them. And usually that means you won't have res for anything. So the stone walls are coming up now because he expects pressure.
And the guard tower.
Yeah.
Guard tower will be super helpful here. You see he's already going for one near the gold. Knows the danger of that push. And he's getting fletching right now as a tower set up on his woodline. And there's guard tower. And that's going to buy him some more time. Viper is going to pikeman upgrade. Viper has cleared up all the military in the north, but Viper is still only on 1 TC. And he's not even on stone, so he can't even go for some like YOLO castle drop or something like that.
Yeah, it's not necessarily something you associate with the Viper. But if he is only focused on his military, which he will be here, he is still a threat, man. It's terrifying. Normally he's got the eco to back it up, so this is not a position you see him in, but he's going for the tower, and he's got 4 villagers here repairing. He's repairing the siege, and Lix has to force another tower down.
Yep. And he might not even, will even complete this one in time. I mean, the Mangonels are working really hard on that guard tower. Viper comes forward with another Mangonel. He's got the other ones behind it. Lix won't be able to get up this guard tower.
He has no siege, Dave. He can't make knights because he gets converted by monks. Plus the pikemen are there. And yes, Lix has Persian TCs. Did Viper just take out his own... Viper just took out his own Mangonel because he hit the house. But anyways, Viper could still continue a pretty solid push through here. The fish is also getting less efficient in the north for Lix.
Yeah, and Viper's adding fish now, I believe, in the center. He took out the fish in the middle from Lix. But still, Lix has been producing from these 3 TCs. You see 44 villagers for Viper, 53 for Lix. And he's going for 2 more guard towers over there. He's already got a guard tower on the hill near the gold.
Yeah.
But he goes for a second one. And Lix is playing the long game here. Probably needs to refresh his docks like you were talking about. Maybe a villager down to the south there would be great. But Viper adding a dock to the southeast. And he's going to add in fish over there.
I guess the concern right now for Lix, apart from all this pressure, is just he has 0 counter-attacking ability.
Yep.
So he's waiting, but you want to wait until your eco stabilizes, and then you can make military. But Byzantines are really hard to counter. This composition is almost impossible to counter, actually, if you're Persians. And maybe Viper, with this much time, could do something, but still 1 TC for the Viper.
Lix's fish weren't working in the north either. They finally got back to working. I was wondering where that food count was going. He's going to need food to produce from all 3 of these TCs. Viper now clearing up that mining camp. He's going to have access to that gold. Lix still in a better position.
Yeah, definitely.
The pressure from Viper is scary, but if you ask me, like, would you rather take 62 vills with 3 TCs or 48 vills with this military? I'd say the TCs and the villagers every day.
Yeah, I would as well. The problem is, can he expand? Can he move around? And can he, as he took out one of Viper's, I think it was a Scorpion, actually? I'm not sure, next to the barracks. But can Lix stop this from getting out of hand? Viper's got 3 rams now. He could put the pikemen in the rams, and he's getting redemption so he can convert any siege. Oh, God, and Lix is about to have the stone to build a castle, too, Dave. This could be where the game gets decided.
Yeah, I mean, a castle could theoretically stall at this push as Viper is coming forward with rams and pikemen inside.
Lix drop it on the hill.
Lix bought the stone, and he's dropping it beside the gold. That's probably the safe play. You'd love to see it in front of those guard towers, but this is probably safer.
Yeah, safe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it goes up, but it is safer than in front, Dave, because this is gonna get crazy. The siege is out of position for Lix, and now it can be converted. And he doesn't have that many villagers converting here, and he doesn't have the towers shooting.
Mangonel on the way, though, from Lix. He's got villagers converging on that Mangonel. He's got guard towers sniping the siege and the monks from Viper. And Viper looks like he's going to not be able to deny this castle. And his army will get wiped up. The guard towers doing work. Even though the rams are there to take out the guard towers, Viper got within range with those monks. The castle is now up. The rams will go down. The pikemen will likely have to run away or die trying to push this. And damn, dude, Lix manages to defend.
And Viper says, okay, we go imp now. Like, what? Yep. Since when can you just magically go imp after you lose a push like that? That was insanely expensive. But I guess he's going to try with maybe bombard cannons and monks. I mean, he's got nothing, Dave.
Yeah, that's the question, right? You have to wait for chemistry if you're going bomber cannon monk. And he's going archery ranges. Okay. 3 archery ranges. Okay. He's getting fletching. Where is he going to find the food for the upgrades?
I honestly just had to check my calendar to make sure it wasn't Tuesday right now. Like, this is so bad. Crossbow's 125 food. Fletching's 100 food. Bodkin is 200 food. Bracer's 300 food. This is without even talking about the gold. And then your opponent has towers and a castle. So then he probably needs chemistry, which is 300 food. This is just giving Lix time to add a ton more eco behind his fortifications.
Yep.
And Lix has 4 TCs now. I'm really worried for the Viper game 1.
I think Viper is planning on going for Treb's Arbalest, probably.
Maybe.
But it's like he still only has 300 stone. He's going to have to build the castle. He won't have the castle up before he reaches Imperial Age. And Lix is now going into Light Cav. And Lix is going to be producing in Castle Age, and he has the eco to back it up.
Yep.
And he's got Knights in the top. He's got Knights in the top now, so that's going to be an added distraction for Viper. They can come in on that gold. Oh, boy, this is going to be rough for Viper for sure.
Yeah, and the play for Lix here is just stay in Castle Age. You can see by the score you've got a massive lead. Great reaction from the Viper. But just stay in Castle Age, and if you take one good trade against whatever Viper's imp army is, it should be game over at that point.
Damn, dude. Damn, Viper. Still not enough stone to get that castle up. He's trying to convert some of the knights. He needs some lucky conversions. He gets 1. Lix should be able to come back and harass again, though. And now Viper's attention is divided. And we look at the villager count. 51 vills for Viper. 88 for Lix. And his resources, he's going to click up.
He's going to click up.
Don't go up in that TC. Brother.
He's fine.
Okay, it's a Persian TC. It should be fine. But still, like... Anyway, you should go up with the TC in the back.
It's crazy to me how many times we've seen someone use the forward TC for imp in this tourney. Like, it's happened a lot. And Viper's Castle won't even go up.
Yeah.
Viper's Castle gets denied by crossbows. If this doesn't tell you how weak this fast imp was for Viper economically, I don't know what will. Yeah.
Viper getting chemistry now. I mean, if there's one player that can pull this off somehow, it's probably Viper.
Yep.
But this is going to be really tough for him. Lix going for another castle over near the archer range. It's a curious position, but I guess it's on the hill. And Lix also got his knight cleared up in the north. Or sorry, the east, and his crossbow as well. But still, 2 castles producing trebs against 1 castle, and you also have the potential of the light cab to come in and snipe them or harass the eco from Viper. So
yeah,
Lix should be in a favorable position here.
Yeah, and I should probably say that, honestly, Lix holding against that initial attack from Monks and Siege was his win condition. That was his main thing. Viper probably realizes that now, which is why it looks so bad, because he's like, well, I'm probably dead. This is my next crazy thing to try. It's not like it's not like booming on 2 TCs would have been a better approach for the Snake, but he's trying, and he's got a treb out at least.
The awareness from Viper to realize that if he were in Lix's position, what he would do is raid in the north. And he sends all his crossbows back that way. They're now arbalest, or no, bracers coming in. They're not arbalists yet. They're still crossbowmen.
Yeah.
But he's going to go over there, going to see what he can do, and he'll spot the crossbows from Lix. He will pick those off. I don't know if he saw the light cab. Okay, that crossbow did see them. Yeah, still, this is distraction for Viper. He needs to be pushing into Lix's base and not focusing on that stuff.
I guess that's the issue, right? Like, he can't do anything unless he clears out guard towers, TCs, and a castle, and it's going to take him so long. And Lix, I think he'll send more light cav over here. He'll have armor soon, and he's got 44 on food. I'd like to see that number go up to 60, and then I feel more comfortable, but still 44 on food is enough to definitely make enough light cav to kill those crossbows.
Look at these stone walls from Viper. He wants to secure this, and he's going to be able to get that final stone wall. Yes, indeed. The knight gets converted, which will help against the light cab. We have more reinforcements from Lix, just waiting to engage. The Treb Roar is still going on over here. Lick's only repairing with 1 villager, so he needs to be careful. And Bombard Cannon's out from Viper.
If Viper goes full pikeman right now, this might be winnable because Lix is going to dive with light cav and mainly light cav. So Viper really needs to, as he tries to save his bombard cannons, but the guard tower's shooting it. I'm not sure if he realizes it.
Yeah. He saves it.
Wow.
He saves it, and like I said, if there's any player that can make this push work, it's probably Viper. Viper's now heading out with crossbow.
He needs pikeman.
He does have the res for it. He does have the res for it.
Oh,
the
good job
crossbow
from
just
Lix.
run into the light cap.
Yeah.
Wow. Great interception there. They all go down. It is fully walled up there, though, for Vipers, so Lix won't be able to go through unless he opens the gate. Castle from Lix will likely die soon.
Lix needs this game, Dave. If he's going to win this series or even have a chance, this is his game. He has to win this. He's had a lead for some time.
They opened the gate. They opened the goddamn gate. Oh, my God. The light cavalry. That's actually so devastating for Viper.
And Viper still hasn't taken out the castle, but he might in just a second, Dave. And Lix is just waiting. He's getting Hussar. He's going to pounce on the forward army soon. Viper cannot afford to deal with this distraction. He only has so much army, and it all needs to be on the front right now.
And it's now Hussar in his economy. And he's sending 5 Arbalists back to deal with it. Sorry, 8.
And that's not the unit. You would want pikemen here. No. And that is a fight that you can actually take if you're Lix. No problem. He's sitting pretty with the eco, 114 versus 73. And just micro is needed for Viper here, so he can't pay attention to the front. I'm waiting for Lix. He's got more crossbows coming out. He's got elite skirms. He's got Hussars there. Just waiting for him to try and take out Viper's siege.
Well, he's taking out a lot of villagers right now, and he's kind of just putting himself further ahead. I mean, he's at 115. Viper is at 58. Lix was housed for quite a while there.
Yeah.
Because Viper was killing all his buildings. He's now wiping up his TCs. But Lix is still expanding to the north. That farming eco looks insane. All in that one spot. And, of course, with the Hussar research, he can keep sending in these raids. So it's going to be very difficult for the Snake. But once again, Viper is kind of stabilized. Dealt with the Hussars in the back. He's got bombard cannons, he's got arbalists, he's got pikemen, he's got trebuchets, and he's got a castle there.
And you only need so much eco to produce with the Byzantines. And speaking of production, Viper's got 4 barracks. They're in constant queue. He's got 4 ranges. They're trying. And for Lix, he's only got a couple stables, Dave. Like, look at him scramble up his buildings now. New stable, new range. Lix needs to get his numbers up quickly here, or Viper could continue this push and somehow win this game.
Yep.
This is crazy. I thought Viper would have been dead already. I don't know how he's still in this.
It's Viper, man. It's Viper. He's got the ball of Arbalists. Just needs the Halberdier research. He's got Trebs attacking the castle. Lix now unpacks his Trebs just to range the Trebs from Viper.
Maybe try the bombard cannons here. Here come the Hussars. Bombard cannons see it. Back away. What Viper does with his Trebs tells us how confident he should be with the fight. If he doesn't pack them up, he thinks that maybe he can stay here. Ballistics isn't in for Lix. He lost his university. The Hussars run around. They get the hill, which is best case. But there's also a lot of pikemen there, too.
There's a lot of skirmishers, though. There's a lot of skirmish. I think you need to keep running around with the Hussars here. He's picking off the bombard cannons. Viper trying to get all his techs in for Halb. He doesn't manage to get that last bombard cannon, but the Trebs will die. At least one of them dies right away. And now the skirmishers are doing work there.
Oh, wow.
Halberdier research on the way for Viper. I think Lix, if he thinks about it, maybe start another push on the other side, or maybe transport some Hussars over into Viper's eco. I think you need to switch it up. Don't keep Viper's 100% focus on this push.
Yeah.
You need to distract him somehow.
I think he needs one more good trade on this side to be able to do that based on the player he is, right? If the roles were reversed and it's Viper, I think Viper can get away with a little bit of focus there, as he's actually walling that, Dave. So he is thinking about it. He's thinking, what would I do if I was in the enemy's position, and how do I counter it?
Yep.
But like,
Lix could also go for Navy as well. He can range like all of Viper's eco.
The Trebs, Lix's Trebs, his army's out of position. The Trebs roll away. Viper with the attack round gets it. That was sick. And he could get another.
Oh,
no way. Dude, Viper getting so much value from this army. I cannot believe it.
Oh, Lix snuck through the... I wonder if Viper noticed that. Lix is going for a TC.
No.
Over there in the east. And let's see if Viper's line of... He can't see it.
Dude, and I don't think Viper knows the gold is... Oh, he does, actually. No, the gold is there. But we are running into an issue where Persians clearly don't have a lot of good units against Byzantines. Hussar Skirm is something a lot of civs can do. Those are the early bonuses for Persians, and the longer this game goes, the better it could get for the Viper.
Yeah, and Viper's still only 1 TC.
Yeah.
So he's still only 70 villagers. That's not quite enough. I mean, Byzantines don't require a ton of vills for the post-sim composition, but that's not quite enough to match up against, 124 for Lix.
And Lix knows it. He's just waited. He dove in here to take out some of the army from Viper. He knows he has the eco to make more, and he has 4 trebs on that castle from Viper. Viper needs those bomber cannons to somehow loop around to snipe
Castle
the trebuchets.
dies. I don't think you can save that castle. He's going to try.
Yeah.
He's sending the villagers. The vills might be a little bit too late. Bomber cannons are going to loop around. If Lix notices this, he can even micro those down with the skirmishers. Bomber cannons are almost there. Maybe they can do something.
I'm with you,
Can
Dave.
Viper save this castle?
If it was 3 trebs, I don't think this castle ever goes down, but with 4, it's going to be just enough.
No, is it?
No way, dude. And he's out of
Viper's
stone.
He's out of stone. He's flying frantically. Viper keeps the castle up.
What? And he takes the score lead here as well, which is obviously due to all the kills here. But what is happening? Viper holds on. If that's you or I, Dave, that castle goes down and we lose the game. Unbelievable.
How did he frame perfectly bought that stone.
And he denied the TC at 97%, bro.
No,
he denied the
dude.
TC on the other side at 97%.
No way. What a game we have here. Oh my goodness. Viper holding on somehow. Can he continue though? Lix still with a much better economy. Lix getting guilds now. Lix still has control over the majority of the map. Well, it's kind of 50-50 now that Viper's pushed into his base, but definitely resource advantage for the Chinese player.
I think a unit Lix really needed was Bomber Cannon. He really needed Bomber Cannon. He's had chemistry, and he also has needed ballistics. So he seems to have forgotten about that one. And remember, Byzantines, 90 eco's good for Byzantines. You can field 100 military if you're comprising that of trash. And Viper's got a solid mass of arbs. He then can make skirms, and he then can make pikemen. As he denies the siege workshop.
Is he thinking about siege ram here? Wouldn't be the worst play in the world.
Yeah, I think mainly for the other side. As he'll push that just to switch Viper's focus. But Persian skirmishers lack bracer. And then there's no ballistics here. So this is a pretty good fight for Viper.
Viper already sending villagers to get ready for the repair. The 3 more trebs coming.
Is he going to attack it with vills and then wall behind it? Is that the plan? Meanwhile,
where are the bomber cannons?
Has to repair the castle. This is so messy, Dave. This is amazing. This is Nomad. Viper defends the other side. The skirmishers and crossbows for Lix aren't looking all that strong.
He can save it. I don't think he can save it this time. There's a ram coming in too that he needs to focus down.
Not again.
One bomber cannon
Not again.
only. One bomber cannon only, Tristan.
It should go down. That castle should be gone after one more hit right here. Boom.
Yep.
And then Lix can pack up the trebs, and now Lix can raid. Hopefully Lix will save the trebs as he has his own bomber cannon. This is chaos, man. This is absolute chaos as Viper's bomber cannon goes down. But Lix is down to 20 army, and he's like, do I really have to go again here? Viper's production has been what's kept him in this game. Constantly queuing up army.
And Viper has got some war galleys on the middle. And I like it from Viper, but I also don't like it because it kind of reminds Lix that that's a possibility.
Yeah.
And Viper's entire base is right beside the water, right? So if Lix ever decides to go into some water pressure, he definitely has a better eco to sustain it. Viper's push not really working out here. Lix's push managing to take down that castle. Let's look at the resources available for Viper. My man has stone. And some gold near the TC Foundation, but Lix is going to be in there soon. Lix should be able to deny that.
I mean, we should even talk about what resources are left at this point. So Viper has the gold and the stone in the back. He's got a teensy bit of stone that he's still mining near his main base. That's it for him. Lix has 2 tiles that are almost gone at his base. And then some stone and some gold near that castle he's building. So honestly, we're getting to a no gold situation. And Lix is about to go for Paladin.
Yeah.
Whoa, he wants to finish this game off, but that's a risk against Byzantines.
Well, I mean, I think you want to finish the game against Byzantines because Persians have Commander N and Hussar, sure, but Byzantines have cheap trash, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going into a long game against them, you kind of favor Byzantines, and if you're looking at Lix and Viper, you kind of favor Viper as well in that matchup in a long game. But Lix is pushing forward once again. He's got the Trebs. He's got the bombard cannons, the rams, and the skirmishers. He's about to have Paladin. He's actually getting War Galley upgrade too, and Siege Ram. My man is going all out.
Also, Viper has a cannon galleon in the center, so he'll try and push that castle in a sec. And if Lix could just get ballistics, he's got so many ranged units firing, and they're missing some of their shots. A good job from him to pull back his bombard cannons, and it's a problem for Viper that he cannot raid Lix in any way, shape, or form.
Yep.
Like, he's just kind of defending, and then he's going to have to wait till he gets one big massive siege to try and push that castle.
And I think if you're Lix, you wait until you get a big massive Paladins too.
Yeah, wait till you have
don't
like
engage
30.
piecemeal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can run through, even though Halbs do bonus, you can run through them with 30 Paladins, and then that'll give you the momentum you need. Loses another Treb carelessly to a bombard cannon. How many Trebs has Lix lost here? Like 8 or 9? It's been a lot for sure.
Yeah, it's been a lot, and Viper still has more army. Now, Viper's Halb numbers are going to be the key, and I think he's got a pretty solid amount of Halb army as well.
Yep, Lix going for a dock now in the middle, or trying to go for a dock. So he realizes the importance of that. He's still building up Paladins. Still has a lot of gold in the bank. Viper getting the second gold mining tech, but he's only got this one pile available to him, and the stone to sell, I suppose.
I was just going to say I think Lix will start taking bad fights intentionally, just to get rid of some army, but he actually deleted some vills. So he's getting ready, Dave. But what I don't like is how he's kept the Paladins on the hill. That tells Viper, if Viper pushes forward, what is to come.
Yep, and Viper has a big army here. Lix is making fast fires in the center, though. So he should be able to clear up all this stuff really easily.
That's good. That's good.
And then he has chemistry. So he can immediately go for a cannon galleon of his own to range Viper's base.
Oh, man, this is crazy. Like, army value is really high for Lix, and that comes down to the cost of his units, but Viper has so many barracks that I genuinely think that he could hold this. That is not enough Paladins from Lix.
I think the Paladins, you almost, like, send them in to the eco. If you see all the Halberdiers here, send them in.
Maybe transport somewhere, Dave. Yeah. Again, as Lix is buying... He's pulled the Paladins in front now, and the ranged units are behind. A lot of the ranged units are missing. And the Paladin move is such a costly one, as Lix has 4 on gold, Dave. He's got 4 on gold, 3 relics, but still, he has to back away. Viper is holding on.
He's gonna relocate. He's sending some army now to the north. He's battered through there with the siege ram. So maybe try and get access to that gold again. He didn't lose that many Paladins.
True.
To be fair.
Yeah.
And now he's selling his stone for gold too.
Ooh, but he just lost 2 bombard cannons, Dave. He's really struggling as he tries to switch position against Viper. Viper, don't open the gate again. Don't open the gate again. Let him die. There you go. That's the smart move. Just let him go down so the units don't run in there.
Ballistics is coming in.
Well, at least he noticed it, right? At least he noticed it.
Yep.
And now you have Viper thinking about a push back, I think. He's taking out bombard cannons. This is an incredible game. This could still go either way. This might be the best Game 1 Nomad we've seen so far in WWC.
And Viper is getting fast fire ship. He wants to contest that middle pawn. He wants to contest it. He knows how dangerous that can be. Viper is now selling his wood for gold.
Well, I guess now Lix will push the other side.
God.
And then Lix wants to take that gold from Viper. He doesn't know Viper's actually mining that. Yep. So he'll need to steal that.
Viper, though, look at this army, Tristan. Oh my goodness, look at this army coming from him. Only 2 bombard cannons behind, so it's going to take him time to kill the buildings.
Also a little messy right now.
Damn, so many units. Little messy, yeah. Maybe distracted in the middle there or something.
Now, if
Losing
you had,
a lot of units for free.
If Lix had those 2 bombard cannons from earlier, he could hold this a little longer, but Viper is definitely going to start pushing this castle, and there's no more stone for Lix on the map to mine. Both players using the market, and Lix losing quite a few units. Bombard cannon comes forwards. Oh, he needs to kill 1 here, Dave. He needs to hope Viper's distracted. He gets 1 hit. We'll get another shot off. Doesn't get the hit yet.
And he loses it.
Oh my goodness.
But the Paladin are here. The Paladins have come back. Paladin have come back. If the Halberdiers ever get out of position, Lix might be able to take this, and Lix is going in with a Paladin and a Hussar. He kills the Bombard Cannon.
Wow, that was
actually
huge.
A good snipe.
Yeah,
really good snipe.
He was making crossbows without commander on this whole time.
No way,
The crossbows were
bro.
costing gold. I mean,
no way.
Oh, 2 crucial techs, Commanderon, and also ballistics, but he has them now, Dave. He wasn't even in his final form. He has them now, and he's ready to fight with the Paladins, maybe, as Viper will lose another Bombard Cannon, and the Paladins could take the other 2. Lix! Oh, he chooses to back away, Dave. Maybe just doesn't want to overextend, and he knows how important defensive castles are on each side.
He didn't have masonry this whole time either.
Dude, this happens sometimes. Players will think, okay, how have I not won yet? And then they look and they're like, okay, this helps, this helps, this helps, this helps. Also, his relics, Dave, are right there on the front. So if Viper takes out that castle, I think Viper does take this game.
We'll see, though. Viper is still distracted over here
sure.
on the east. Lix is gathering that gold. Lix is still pushing in there. I mean, we got to start looking at wood sources for Viper pretty soon, too.
Yeah.
Because he only really has the stuff over to the right. The stuff in the middle is contested here by Lix.
Can we talk about Viper's
yeah.
skirms next to the TC on the right? How they're on the other side of the wood line?
Yeah, that's so annoying.
It's so annoying. It's so smart, but it's so annoying. I love it. But he needs gold himself. That's the issue. Like, taking Lix off of gold is good, but he needs to have a few more Bombard Cannons out, and he's been losing them.
I would have liked to see more raids from Lix, too. I've only seen the Hussar come in a couple of times,
Yeah.
and no Paladin have ever come in. Like, if you send 2 Paladin into this eco, you could cause so many disruptions, and that Monastery does go down. Viper will stall out the Relic gold from Lix. Lix has 1,000 gold in the bank, though Viper has 53, and the Paladins are making their charge.
Do you take this fight if you're Lix? Because you might not be able to make more of them. He now has ballistics, so the skirms are getting some good hits, and he takes it. He gets behind the ranged army. Not bad for Lix, but so costly, Dave.
He took that so, like, if you're going to take that fight, you don't run around with the Paladins. You just charge. You just go.
There's so many reasons to think twice about that, though. It's so tricky against Byzantines. And Lix is clearly struggling.
He took so many free hits. He took so many free hits in that fight, trying to loop around for those Bombard Cannons.
Viper has 50 more army, and I think he has the better army here. Andy's got 2 relics versus currently 0. You know what? Hindsight's 20/20, but you know what it would have been better? Is maybe when Lix had the foothold, go for Hussar, Crossbow, Skirm, and use all the gold for siege. Like Onager maybe, or you know, a few more Bombard Cannons, because the Paladins just have done nothing.
Lix is buying stone. Where is he repairing?
He's repairing his castle.
He's just repairing that castle. Okay.
Yeah, and he can't get the relics either, at least not right now. I'm sure he's thinking about it, but he needs a big fight, Dave, and he needs to pop up. And again, we'll circle back to Byzantines can field over 100 army because their skirms and their halbs are cheap. And Viper's using what little gold he has on the siege. And it might be the last gold that he can get.
Yep.
So this is so important now for both players. Lix will come forward with some skirms, take some good engagements, but still can't hit those Bombard Cannons.
Lix is still on that gold. Finally clearing up the skirmishers on the gold. So he'll have free access to that. He's switching over a little bit, maybe pushing in a tad, but he's losing his main army under that castle and still doesn't have access to those relics. And Viper, you know that Viper is eyeing those. He's thinking, how could I steal these?
He's got 1 monk. I'm not sure exactly where it is, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's walking forward.
Bomber cannon for Lix. Maybe he can get some value out of this one. The bomber cannons are stacked from Viper. Viper will 100% notice this. No, he goes instead for the archers. Okay.
Oh, the monk's actually healing the army. I didn't realize that. It's right behind here. So if there's ever a point where Viper thinks that he can snag it, which would be when he takes the castle out.
Look at how fast they heal with the new Byzantines.
This is insane. Viper also has tons of vision. Viper has similar amounts on food.
Viper has 4 more skirmishers on that gold again.
It consistently raids, and then it'll send halbs out behind, so he's holding the other side. Lix has, you know, the problem is Lix has a lot more pop on the right, but he's not accomplishing anything with it. So if he doesn't free up more pop space for this middle area, this could be the end.
I'm getting annoyed that at no point has he sent in cavalry to raid Viper Zico. He's just fully focused on this stuff. Like, I think you need to distract him. The Hussar are trying to loop around for the bombard cannons. I don't think he's going to get any of these, though.
Viper, but that's because Viper just grouped around them. That was so good. Yep. That is amazing unit control. Like, realistically, bomber cannons should go down there, but Viper just somehow slid the bomber cannons through his ranged units, through his halbs, and then he heals them, Dave, or repairs them, excuse me. This is amazing.
I'm getting so frustrated, the lack of raids. Like, just send something in there. You haven't even made an attempt.
I don't know.
Send anything.
Maybe. My issue is he doesn't have his buildings queued. He's just struggling to keep up with the pace of the game now. He does not have his buildings queued, but he does have a siege ram push on the other side, Dave. And so maybe he starts to break Viper on the right, but I feel like the left could be the most important area now.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about wood, right? That's the wood line that Viper can take. Look, he's chopping wood near Lix's castle now.
Yeah.
And that should tell Lix, as Lix finally maybe thinks about some raids. Viper going for the quick stone gates. He can't get in.
Like, okay, let's say he gets further. He always gets quick walled, and then Halbs clean up the Hussars, right? Like, it's so hard to have the confidence to even think about it. But wait a second. Viper has to be careful with his bombard cannons, and he notices it immediately, backs away. Who is going to win this game? Someone needs to win this game, but who?
Viper has 21 wood in the bank. He's got 33 Halbs queued, though.
True.
So.
Yeah. Again, another attempt with the Hussars. Lix realizes it won't work out. Bombard Cannon's still moving for Lix. He loses one, though. Good kills there from Lix, though. I think that's solid. He kills an Arbor, too.
That's really good. Yeah.
And he also has the crossbows in a really tight spot there.
We're getting to the stage of the game with Viper off wood, generally, where even taking out Halbs is an amazing trade.
Even against Byzantines.
Yeah.
I mean, wood is also costly if you're spending all your wood on crossbow as well. And your farms are receding if you're
Lix has Trebs on that castle in the north now. And he has a big enough army, I think, to defend it. As long as he keeps this castle alive, he should be in a good situation.
Oh my goodness.
He's taken back 2 of the relics. There's only 1 more to go. Lix is still on gold. Whatever is left there.
And Viper's lost a lot of eco. He's at 67 now. I also don't think they're very efficient. And there's a Hussar on the forward wood line. Lix knows. And he's still got plenty of wood.
Honestly, this game is insane. I cannot believe that Viper is still alive here. And Lix has done a great job to keep Viper's push stalled at the same spot the entire game.
Viper is a cat. He's got 9 lives. He's not a snake. Okay, he's a cat. And here come the Hussars.
The Trebs went down from Viper. How? What killed the Trebs?
Halbs. He sacrificed about 20 Halbs there, which, as you said, is actually a pretty big deal. And then Lix. Oh, I like this from Lix. He baits Viper's army forward into the castle, backs away. And this is maybe the first big overextension we've seen from Viper in a while now, as he's down to 60 military. And another Treb comes from Lix on the other side, Dave.
Maybe he can bait him into losing 20 Halbs again. And
yeah.
Architecture now in from Lix, so that castle's going to be even harder to kill. He got masonry and hoardings earlier, so 7,000 HP on that castle, assuming he gets it fully repaired. And look, Viper even migrating his wood villagers over to this other, I hesitate to call it a wood line, on the left near the berries. He is desperate.
Well, I think a good shift that Lix has made is he stopped making paladins and he's using all of his gold for bomber cannons. Because if he can maintain an even bomber cannon number, or even get more, that's his win condition. Because Viper's trapped.
And there go the Hussars into raid. And he's going to figure out, when he explores Viper's eco, that there's nothing here.
Yeah.
Just farms. That's it.
Now on the other side, Viper has a bomber cannon, though, Dave. And Lix sees it now, but Viper's repairing it. So Viper can keep this castle up. Oh, no, wait. He doesn't. He loses the bomber cannon. I was wrong.
He lost it to the Treb. Or to the archers and skirmishers.
And then you've got the Hussars finally finding some damage, Dave. Viper's down to 15 on food. Is this the end, finally? Viper needs one more push.
He can't, even if he takes out that castle, he's going to have to hope that Lix has absolutely 0 production. Lix now with 3 bombard cannons. That castle is fully repaired. It's 7,000 HP on that bad boy. The Hussars are coming in for the bombard cannons. Viper hides them again. Very, very nice from the snake, but he does lose that one. He's got 1 bombard cannon and a monk. and some arbalists over in this army.
Sounds
in
like
terms
a
of gold units.
Sounds like a start of a really bad joke. Viper is
Really
now
terrible
raiding
joke, yeah.
with halbs, which is not bad actually, because then ranged units will be distracted, and you're going to see Lix make a mistake here because he pulls away from the front, which he's been focusing on for an hour, and now he loses a bomber cannon. And Viper still has 50 more military.
Viper's still fighting in the east as well. Unfortunately for him, they are trash bows, and they will deal quite well with the halberdiers. Treb is still attacking that castle, and Viper's out of stone. Viper does not have the gold to buy the stone. That castle will go down. Siege rams in the queue from Lix, and we have lots of SR, lots of crossbow. Viper is desperately trying to push here with one bombard cannon.
Okay, so if you're Lix, you're up against the Viper, right?
Yeah.
And the halberd just came in. You finally took out a castle. What pop do you think Viper's at right now with his ecos? Not his military, but his eco.
I would think Viper's probably at like 50 eco around there if you're Lix.
Yeah, I guess if you see the villagers dying next to your castle, you should assume it's pretty low. This is incredible, man. And I think as Lix is chopping one tree in the north and getting raided by a halb, he should be able to sort that out and then chop a few more trees soon.
Yeah, he's got so much access to wood, and now the push in the east is very strong. Viper is gonna have to relocate all of his military over there to deal with that eventually.
Yeah.
And that means that Lix can do some damage over here on the left side too. Viper somehow still alive.
He's alive, but as I like to say, he's treading water, but he's still very much going to drown here. There's no way he can push back. He can't push the castle anymore unless Lix throws his cannons away, which he might do. Lix.
He's gonna do right now.
Lix. Lix.
Lix, come on!
Lix! Okay. So Viper just bought himself another 10 minutes. Lix is probably focused with production buildings as he has 25 Hussar queued out of 2 stables on the right.
No way he's killing this stuff over in the east too. Lix needs more production buildings. He just needs to be shift queuing everything. And Viper calls the GT the craziest Nomad game I've seen in a very long time. Definitely the craziest of this tournament so far.
Yeah.
Lix takes game 1. This is a best of 5, folks.
I mean, I think they're out of mineable resources at this point. They're out of mineable resources. There's no stone, there's no gold. The relics were split evenly. And then we were even having that wood conversation, as I think there's 2. We'll call it 2 areas to get wood in the east, but there are a few other areas where you can chop a few trees. Oh my god, Dave. Wow. I mean, we thought Lix had won the game. We thought Lix had thrown the game. We thought Viper had won the game. Then Viper threw the game. This was insanity and very even the whole way through. Well, no. Sorry, not the whole way through, but in the Imperial Age. Then it was pretty even.
Yeah, I think Viper did an amazing job holding himself in it. From that position, I can't really see that many mistakes on his part.
Yeah.
Maybe in the early game to get in that situation is a bit rough. Lix had chances to win, though. And he finally closed it out. A long, drawn-out game. He got all the right techs that he needed. He used his economy advantage to spam to victory. But, man, how does that weigh on Lix? Because from Viper's perspective, you were fighting a losing battle for an hour, and you made it last. From Lix's perspective, you probably should have finished that off earlier, right?
You know, typically I think I would be saying the exact same thing you're saying. But I think if you get it done against Viper and there were that many signs that you were going to lose over the last half hour and you close it out, I think you're still really happy about that. From Viper's perspective, you pretty aware that you're the better player in the matchup. And you also know that Persians had early bonuses and you were really far behind. But I think if Lix wins that an hour in, then Lix is like, oh god, I should have won that faster. But it went to the nitty gritty there. Like that was really close. He probably put over 1,000 stone into repairing that castle on the left-hand side. So I'm just blown away, Dave. Like, unfortunately, people, the rest of the games might not be that good. But we, of course, hope you stick around. And we hope game number 2 can live up to that.